Hey, what's going on guys? It's your boy Mario here. Welcome back to the channel, and for today's video I'm going to be doing something special with someone special. And for those of you guys who don't know, this is my girlfriend, and today we're going to be building our first PC. Hey guys, so we're going to initiate the build by starting with the core of it, which is the motherboard. Alright, we're going to mount up everything on the motherboard first, and then afterwards place the motherboard into the case and deal with that. I had to say deal with that because I really and truly not sure how to go about cable management and all these things quite yet. So that would come along, right? Even if I have to like pause this video and look over some YouTube videos, I would definitely do that. So let's deal with this motherboard first. And the first thing I want to do is insert an SSD in the motherboard. With two SSDs in particular. So I'd go on and start unscrewing the NVMe slots. So we're gonna put in the SSD first, which is a 512 gig SSD by Western Digital. So we're gonna just insert that here first. Just press this down here, I guess. So now guys, moving on from the SSD, we're going to be putting in the brain of the PC, which is the CPU, and also the cover. I bought actually a cover for the CPU to prevent like heating and all these things, and to also give it a more finished look now, right? So we'll be mounting on this now, and then we try to proceed as quickly as possible to get this part of the job done, so we could proceed onwards to doing all the rest and get into the more heavier stuff, right? So now we're going to mounting the CPU. So first we're going to be pressing down this pin and pulling it to the right, which would release that lever, and pulling this back to make way for the CPU, like that. And now we're going to be removing this piece from the case, which is the original cover, and putting this one that I bought. So yeah, let's proceed to do that now. And now we're going to be putting back in the screws. Just place each of them in their respective areas first. Now that we have the CPU in, we're going to be placing in our RAM. Right, we have 32 gigs of G.Skill Flash X5 DDR5 RAMs. So we're going to be placing it now into our motherboard, and then proceed onwards to putting in the CPU cooler, and yeah, nice. So guys, for our CPU cooler, we have Peerless Assassin 120 SE, and this, as I mentioned, this is the first time I'm building a PC. So don't criticize me if I don't know the names or these things offhand. I just bought these things based off of research and performance, price to performance stuff, right? So hopefully this fits, because I've heard that it is really huge, and as you guys can see, the motherboard 10 is already sort of crowded. So so we went ahead and installed the frame for the CPU fan, because being honest with you, I had to pause a bit and look at the YouTube video on how to do this, because as I said, this is the first time I'm building a PC, so I don't know how to install this. and this is pretty big and it can be intimidating the first time you're doing it. So I had to look at a guide on how to do this. So as you guys can see, I went ahead and installed the frame for it. So I've done the frame already for it. So now we're going to be putting the thermal paste on the CPU and then adjusting the fans to where they are supposed to line up and get this show on the road. So yeah, so now that we have the CPU installed and the frame for our CPU cooler, we're going to be putting our thermal paste on the CPU, and what this does is regulate the heat from the CPU to the CPU cooler. So it's like a base in the center now, right? Because this is actually metallic. So if this comes in contact with the CPU, that is something that generates a lot of heat, it's going to burn it away, right? So that's why you need the thermal paste, and that's what we're going to place in the middle of both of them now, right? So a thin layer we're going to put to just regulate that heat from the CPU to the CPU cooler. And now we're going to be using this stick or whatever you want to call it to just drag it downwards over the CPU, right? Give that nice thin layer. And now we're going to be putting on the CPU cooler. So we're placing it directly in the center where there are these two screws that would line up with these two alternating screws on the CPU cooler. So we're going to be taking our time and getting it directly on center of both. Alright guys, so we're finished with everything on the motherboard here. We have our SSDs, CPU frame, or whatever you want to call it, the CPU cooler, and our RAM sticks, right? So now we're going to proceed to put in the motherboard in the case. And to be honest, this video is actually going to be really lengthy, and I don't want it to be lengthy, so I'm going to skip a couple parts. Some parts that you guys may know. For those of you guys who don't know about these parts, to be honest, this isn't a tutorial channel, so you guys could, I would leave a link to a channel that I've been viewing a lot, and I actually paused this video to view in order to get some updates on how to put certain stuff and thing, and that is Creators. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, so I'll leave a link to that channel here and you guys can go check it out. So I'll be putting this motherboard now into the case and fast forwarding a bit until I'm ready to put in the power supply and the GPU. So yeah, see you guys in a bit. As you guys can see, we have our motherboard set up inside the case, and now we're going to be connecting our power supply. So as I said, I'm going to kind of speed up this whole process because these things actually taking quite some time. So I'm going to connect the power supply and then the GPU, and we do a performance base to see how everything is running once it boots up. So yeah, see you guys in a bit when I'm hooking up the GPU. Okay, so I believe everything is hooked up. I believe, I'm not sure. Take that with a grain of salt. And the only thing left to do is to put in the GPU. So that is going to be the next process, you know. And as mentioned before, we're going to be putting in an RTX 4070 Super. So guys, as you can see, the GPU is finally connected. So I believe that's the last piece of the puzzle. I just double checked to make sure everything is in place, and that should be it for our build. So we're finally finished with everything. It is currently 3 a.m. I started this build sometime around after 11. So it took me approximately 4 hours, or maybe like 4 hours plus to complete the build. So let's power it on and see if it comes on. So guys, it apparently works. How well, we'd have to wait and see. I'd have to mount up the monitor to make sure everything is working properly and that everything comes on properly. So just give me a sec, let me sort that out, and yeah, just come back to you guys.
Scans show the Tyranid numbers growing exponentially within the Hive City. Retaking those sectors is a lost cause. Bombardment from orbit risks collateral damage, so we need a more targeted approach. Commandeer a Nova Cannon implosive warhead from the Navy supplies in the Astra Militarum depot and deliver the payload by rail. We shall collapse the superstructure from below. Battle disturbs Avarax's arid landscape. Dust squalls can arise with little warning. If conditions obscure the path, look for the flashing guideposts.
Hive mind scout spotted.
No storm will delay our vengeance. Advance while it is clear.
That foe before I call for reinforcements. Tyranids have no mind for tactics. Frag grenade! The dust storm has settled. Fester and rot. Not abomination. Horrible cyclones of sediment. Amelio line engaged. Deploying shrapnel grenade. No storm where they are. Alien bioform eliminated. Reloading.
Ready.
I shall never let a brother.
Brothers, my vision darkens.
Synaptic servants slaughtered.
Will remains unharmed, unburned, unbroken.
No one wants to see that.